Well, this is it, folks. The night we have all been waiting for. It is, without a doubt, the most prestigious night of the year on the literary calendar. It's Giller time.
If Margaret Atwood happens to be in the audience, what do I do?
Never look her in the eye.
Why?
She will knock you down. Tonight, 5 Canadian authors compete for the richest prize in Canadian literature.
$100,000 from our dedicated sponsor, Scotiabank. Yeah.
It's the very best thing can happen to a writer because the jury is your peers.
It's been the greatest privilege to get to know my fellow nominees and to be shortlisted with such brilliant writers.
It's not about celebrities, it's not about fame, it's not about bestsellers, it's just about books.
But I always think when I finish a book that I'm never going to write another novel anyway.
Writing fiction it's almost like professional voyeurism.
Anybody who writes a book of any kind is essentially an optimist because, first of all, they're assuming they'll finish the book, and they're assuming someone will then read the book.
The impact of the Giller is undeniable. Since 1994, the award has generated a phenomenal $60 million in book sales.
You have no idea how special this is for me.
Thank God for people like Jack Rabinovich who put it up front where it belongs.
Has there ever been a better time to get lost in a good book?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
In the immortal words of my dad, I know you've all been waiting for this.
For the price of dinner for 2 in this town, you can buy all the books. So eat at home and read the books.
Have you ever just given away $100,000?
Only to Revenue Canada, so this will be a lot.
And the winner of the Scotiabank Giller Prize is...
Live from the 17th floor high atop the Park Hyatt Hotel in Toronto, welcome to the 2021 Scotiabank Giller Prize shortlist announcement. Now, please welcome your host for today, author and broadcaster, the incomparable J.L. Richardson.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It's been about 2 years since I've had to match my top to my pants to my shoes. And I want to thank you for this clear podium, so I get to put it all on display. I'm really excited to be here. It was a bit moving to look and to see, in particular, watching Ian, which was our last in-person. And I get to interview him tonight. He's being inducted into Brampton's Arts Walk of Fame. So it's all sort of coming full circle for me. But today, I'm here with you and with everyone at home watching to unveil this year's Scotiabank Giller Prize finalists. The shortlist this year was selected by an esteemed and phenomenal 5-member jury panel featuring jury chair and multiple award-winning author Zalika Reid-Benta, award-winning Canadian authors Megan Gale Coles and Joshua Whitehead, Malaysian writer and Whitbread and Commonwealth Award winner Tash Aw, and American author and winner of the Dylan Thomas Prize, Joshua Ferris. Out of the 132 submissions, the jury had the incredible task of narrowing it down to 12 phenomenal titles and ultimately selecting the 5 works that make up the shortlist. We are honored today to have 2 members of the jury here, Megan Gale Coles and jury chair Zalika Reid-Benta. Before we get to them and to this exciting shortlist, please welcome Executive Director of the Scotiabank Giller Prize, Alana Rabinovich.
Thank you so much, JL. Can I just say how thrilled I am to be in a room, a real room with real people. It's exciting, it feels delicious, and I hope that we can have more of these in the future. So today we're going to bring you one step closer to knowing who the shortlisted authors are, which is pretty exciting. I think the pandemic has changed our lives so much, and the publishing industry hasn't been spared that. They've gone through a lot of convolutions to get these books to market. And this year we had an embarrassment of riches, to use a phrase, because a lot of the books that were to come out last year came out this year. So the jury had more than the usual amount to read, and they did a yeoman work. The prize is now in its 28th year, which just sort of astounds me. I want to thank, as always, our lead sponsor, Scotiabank. I adore my colleagues at Scotiabank. They are wonderful people to work with, and I love their trust and support that they put in us. I want to thank this year's jury for their absolute steadfastness. They read, reread, analyzed, and debated for endless hours to get to this year's long list and the short list that you will hear today as well. We would also like to thank our other really important sponsors, namely our broadcast partner, CBC, the Globe and Mail, and our exclusive audiobook sponsor, Audible. Without further ado, I want to welcome back to the stage JL and take it away. Thanks.
So it's my honor to actually welcome up someone else from Scotiabank, Executive Vice President, Retail Sales, John Doig.
Thank you very much. It's not lost upon me that you didn't come here on a Tuesday morning to hear the banker, but I will say a few words and I will be gone. Alana, thank you very much. Great to see you in person, safely. And I know there's lots of commentary on clothing. I'm happy to be here in pants that don't have elastics in the waist. And I am excited to be here for the shortlist announcement. And also very excited to be here at this beautifully renovated Park Hyatt. Absolutely spectacular. Another challenging year. Lockdowns, lots of uncertainty, vaccination lines, and many turn to places to find comfort. And for many, that comfort was between the pages of the book. So what better announcement could there be, and a way to celebrate Canada's literary talent is us here today to announce the shortlist. We at Scotiabank are very proud of the relationship we have with the Rabinovich family. Thank you for your friendship, your support for all these many years. Thanks, Alana. Scotiabank is committed to making a difference in the communities where we live and work. It's the corporate line. It's true. And I've been saying it for 20 years of working at the bank. This partnership is one of my favorite. It is one of very special one for all of us at Scotiabank. And it's partnerships like this, I think, that help raise awareness in components of our culture across Canada, advancing the profile of Canada's top literary storytellers. It's something important because it's important to Canadians, but also on the world stage. And so for those of us who found comfort in books over the past 18 months, I think that it's fair to say that supporting literary arts is more important now than ever. And to Alana's point on the convolutions of the publishers to get the books out. Many Canadians isolating at home, limited movement, written word was there for support. And comfort, solace, laughter, and ultimately a bit of an escape. Right? So congratulations to the 12 authors named in the long list last month. Chosen from 132. I had 130, so the banker should have had the numbers right, but I'm sorry. The 12 represent the best of Canada's 2021 fiction writers. And regardless of what happens today, they should be incredibly proud of what they've accomplished in that long list. And the authors soon to be named in the short list. There will be much enjoyment. I've witnessed it over the weeks ahead. The Between the Pages event, a gala, real gala, people, round tables, eating side by side. We are going to do that within the rules. And we're very excited about that. And those shortlisted authors are going to get to share experiences with their friends and their families, and I think, as importantly, with their readers. So we truly hope for them this is a memorable experience. For the book lovers across this great country and around the world, there will be more comfort. And thank you again for having the banker. It's fantastic to be here, and I'm going to pass it back to JL.
I think generally when there's a discrepancy between a banker and an author about numbers, you should go with the banker. So next up, I want to, first of all, say thank you to John for that. So nice to hear your words and your thoughts, and it really is a beautiful space here. I would like to now introduce you to General Manager of Entertainment, Factual, and Sports at CBC, Sally Caddo.
Thanks, JL. It is wonderful to be back together in person today with our friends from the Scotiabank Giller Prize. CBC is honored to celebrate storytellers in Canada and share this important event each fall with book lovers and audiences across the country. At CBC, we champion the remarkable voices of homegrown authors year-round on CBC Books and CBC Radio's The Next Chapter and Writers & Company. And with the help of our producing partners, we turn the works of great authors into series and feature films, bringing those stories to new audiences at home and around the world. We also nurture this country's love of books with our annual national book debate, Canada Reads, marking its 20th anniversary this year. And it's so exciting to see last year's winner, Joshua Whitehead, on the Giller jury this year, helping to transform the lives of other writers in Canada. CBC and the Scotiabank Giller Prize have so many connection points in our shared mission to ignite a love of books and reading, and I'm delighted that a beloved member of the CBC family will be with us all on the glitziest night of the literary calendar. It's my pleasure to announce that the hosts for the Scotiabank Giller Prize Gala will be Paul Sun-Young Lee from CBC's Kim's Convenience, a 3-time Canadian Screen Award-winning actor who revealed himself as a devoted reader when he took part in Canada Reads earlier this year. Paul will share hosting duties with the extraordinary creator of breathtaking art and poetry, Rupi Kaur. Rupi celebrates shared connections in her own art through social media, her intimate performances, and in poetry collections that have sold more than 8 million copies in 42 languages around the world. We know that this year's Giller finalists have been curated from an incredible list of Canadian storytellers. Please join us live on Monday, November 8th on CBC TV, GEM, Radio 1, and CBC Books for this year's grand reveal. But right now, I'm just as excited as the rest of you to learn who has made the shortlist this year, so I will turn things back over to JL. Thanks.
Okay, so if you're tuning in at home and you've been doing other work and just listening to us talk because my face is not that interesting, this is the moment where you want to sort of get right on this screen and watch because we are about to announce the shortlist for this year's Giller Prize. To announce the first 3 finalists, whew, I get excited already. Please welcome Jury Chair Zalika Reed-Benta.
Thank you, JL, and thank you everyone for watching and everyone for being here. And without any further ado, I'm just going to get to it. So the first shortlisted author is Omar El-Akid for his novel What Strange Paradise, published by McClellan and Stewart. The Scotiabank Giller Prize jury writes, amid all the anger and confusion surrounding the global refugee crisis, Omar El-Akid's What Strange Paradise paints a portrait of displacement and belonging that is at once unflinching and tender. In examining the confluence of war, migration, and a sense of settlement, it raises questions of indifference and powerlessness, and ultimately offers clues as to how we might reach out empathetically in a divided world. Okay. The next shortlisted author is Angélique Lalonde for her short story collection, Glorious Frazzled Beings, published by House of Venancy. The Scotiabank Giller Prize jury writes, menopausal gods, procreating droids, and boys born as foxes are only a modest few of the glorious frazzled beings that populate Angelique Lalande's astonishing short story collection. Many of the ever-present concerns of the contemporary world, ecology, capital, conservation, gender fluidity, addiction, inequality, indigenous displacement, and the internal limits of human perspective, find in Lalonde a beguiling literary voice equal to the age, pushing not only at the boundaries of literature, but at those articulation and being. Lalonde gravitates here to the fable and the fairy tale, familiar and estranging in equal measure, to claw at the divide between our world and others, the animal, the alien, while inevitably falling back on and forgiving the ever-flawed human being. Our third shortlisted author is Chiluchi Onyamlukwe Onoobia for her novel The Son of the House, published by Dundon Press. The Scotiabank Giller Prize jury writes, it is a delightful gift to find a book you feel fortunate to have read, akin to discovering a treasure. That is the case with The Son of the House. The novel explores issues of patriarchy and classism, themes of friendship and loss, the lenses of two very different yet unexpectedly connected women in Nigeria. Chiluchi Onyamlukwe Onoobia writes a modern novel with fairy tale elements and prose that punches you in the gut, leaving you wonderfully stunned by the time the book is finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Zalika. We got 3 down, 2 to go. And to introduce the next 2 shortlisted authors, please welcome 2019 Scotiabank Giller Prize finalist Megan Gale Coles.
Thank you, JL. The next finalist is Jordan Tannehill for his novel, The Listeners, published by HarperCollins Canada. The Listeners is a reverie for the sublime, for the innocuous tapestry of sounds that make up the rhythms of our lives and the pollution of sounds that can tear and devour. It is at once a masterful interrogation of the body, as well as the desperate violence that undergirds our lives in an era of social media, conspiracies, isolation, and environmental degradation. Tannehill writes both as a poet and playwright, millennial and philosopher, as one who trains his reader to attune to the frequency of the hum. To our experience, a rich in hinterland beyond our embodied senses, beyond our perceptions of grace or faith. It leaves us listening even to the silences, which are always screaming, and positing us in our cochlea, forever a conch, flaring and reeling primordially. Rounding out the shortlisted authors this year is Miriam Taves. For her novel, Fight Night, published by Knopf Canada, the Scotiabank Giller Prize jury writes, Miriam Taves' compellingly crafted Fight Night is a testament to her astounding grasp of narrative voice. The emotional range exemplified on every page solidifies Taves as one of our most endearing, compassionate, and prolific storytellers. Her young protagonist, 9-year-old Swiv, is expertly rendered with exacting grit and enviable humor. To read this examination of girlhood, family, and mental wellness is to become wholly enamored with a cast of characters consistently demonstrating the power of exuberance and the resiliency of love.
And that's it. That's the 2021 Scotiabank Giller Prize shortlist. If you don't know how this works, that's the shortlist, but they still have yet to decide as a jury who the winner will be. And that happens in some private space, in some private world where they duke things out, essentially. But I don't envy them for having to pick a winner from this phenomenal list of titles. It's an amazing group of authors, and we wish the jury and the authors the best of luck. A warm thank you to the members of the jury who were here with us today, Zalika and Megan. Let's give them all a round of applause. I literally just realized I haven't heard applause in like 2 years. That was pretty exciting. You can get up close and personal with the Scotiabank Giller Prize finalists on Thursday, November 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at Between the Pages, hosted by yours truly. And then the winner of the 2021 Scotiabank Giller Prize will be revealed live on Monday, November 8th on CBC TV, CBC Radio 1, and live streamed at cbcbooks.ca. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today, for joining us online and in person, wherever you are, and I want to wish you all happy reading.